Boy, we're getting a lot of lessons from this mighty warrior, Gideon. He pursued, he defeated with what? Faithful men. 300 men that were alert. 300 men that knew how to do war. Boy, what God could do with 300 men today in this country. And Gideon goes and takes success and triumphs. And all Israel makes Gideon their leader, their judge. I don't know about you, it's a beautiful story. But you know, as I read the Bible, I'm convinced, man, that sometimes after these great victories, it is really tough to be the man that God calls us to be. After this mountaintop experience, Gideon goes and says, give me the gold, and he makes an ephod, and they bring and worship this ephod instead of giving God the glory. It reminds me of Noah. After that great victory, the flood, Noah gets drunk. You know, after some of the greatest successes, Elijah, the 400 prophets of Baal, calling fire down from heaven, outrunning the chariot. And Jezebel says, I'll have your head in 24 hours. Elijah runs. You know, I've said this a lot of times. Success is harder to deal with than failure. The job promotion can be harder to deal with in a man's life than the firing of a job. Having great success is something we all strive for, but there's a warning here. When we have success, will we give the credit to God, or will we place our trophies up and say, look what I did? When who did it? God did. And what did God say from the beginning? I don't want man to take credit. I want to get the glory. When the children of Israel took the promised land, and the tribes crossed back over the Jordan to put their residence over there, they built an altar. And they heard that they had built an altar, and so the Israelites came to these two tribes, and they were going to kill them. So why did you build this altar? They said, we built this altar as a memorial so that we and our children will always fear God and remember what He did in giving us this land. And when we are gone, they will look at this altar and say, it was God that gave us this. Man, that's a memorial. Gideon didn't put up a memorial. He put up an altar to worship, to give credit to something other than God. Men, we need to have memorials, things that we will remember, but we don't need to set up altars and give credit to things where credit is not due. Boy, I'll tell you, I don't know where you are today, but if you're successful, ask yourself something. Who's getting the glory? What's the end result of this success? And don't do what Gideon did. Turn from God and worship false idols and give the credit to someone where it's not due. Success is harder to deal with oftentimes than failure.